Hello everybody and welcome back to the B2100 Kubota restoration. This is going to be the episode where we get everything ready for the cab. So that means sanding it all down, priming it and repainting the cab. And then in the next episode it can be lifted back onto the tractor. But first things first, we need to get a grinder with a wire brush or a flappy disc and get it all cleaned off. This is pretty much the extent of the rust. In every corner we've got areas which are excessively rusty. Some areas are okay, but what I'm going to do is just sand it down and then repaint the lot. So if you look to the left of my hand, you can see that the metal has actually warped out, it's split. Originally there would have been a seal here, probably in the form of silicone, so this needs to be resealed and hopefully pushed back a bit as well, because otherwise it can put a bit of strain on the back window. Same problem at the back of the cab as well. This all needs to be sanded down, primed and then repainted. Many hours of work later, the cab is now ready to be painted with the top coat of Kubota Grey. I'm aiming for 2 to 3 layers to have the maximum shine and also protection in the future. You can see it's all been primed, so it's ready for the first layer. So there we have it. It's now just drying, but the effect should stay the same. It should be just as shiny when it is dry. And what a massive improvement is to what it used to be. Obviously there's a bit of pitting here and there, but nothing compared to what it used to be. Right, so just moving away from the cab, we're now going to focus on the seat. And as you can see, the suspension part of this is very rusty. In fact, the height adjuster doesn't work at all. It's totally seized up. And the seat itself is abysmal. So we are going to change all of this at another expense, but I'm hoping it's going to make it look 10 times better in the end. So what I'm going to do here is remove the runners because they are not included with the new suspension part of the seat. A few days later the seat mount has arrived, and as you can see it does look incredibly better. So this is obviously going to add a lot of appeal to the tractor. Plus I have added a brand new seat as well. This is a slightly different seat but more comfortable. Moving back to the cab, we now need to replace the entire assembly of the rear lights and the front lights, but I'm only doing the rear ones today. So yeah, let's get these removed. Now the way to do this is you have to go inside the cab, there is a plate, and you just have to remove 2 screws and it should remove. So there it is, very simple. And in here we have got the wiring which runs to the lights. There is a bolt, 2 bolts, which you have to remove the holder. So the 2 bolts are now removed, it is loose, it should just pull out. And because the new lights come with their own wiring loom, it means we can just rip them out. I've just cleaned up in the areas where they sit to make it look a bit neater. And now what I'm going to do is run the new wiring harness into here and then bolt it in. With all the wires all plugged in, just as simple as putting the lens on, and that is the job done. Not only does this make the tractor legal again for when going on the road, it also adds more appeal to the tractor. It makes it look more finished off, I think. I think a cab without lights looks boring. You'll be pleased to know the cab is now dry. So this is the finished product, and doesn't it look better? Like I say, it's not perfect, but compared to what it used to be, it is 100 times better. The rust has been eliminated and the windows are now going back in again. I daren't record it though because I might smash one. Right, so we have now finished with the cab for the time being. We're going to go back to the tractor. Sorry about the job jumping. But what we're going to do here is put the brand new seat into the tractor. So this is the seat pan, which I have totally repainted. And this just bolts in with 4 M8 bolts. These are 20mm in length. So there it is, all 4 are in. And now, the moment of truth, let's see if the seat fits on the pan, because obviously it's a different seat. Looking good. There we go. So it does fit, and doesn't it look better? Now obviously we have to put the interior trim in first, so that's what I'm going to do. I have to remove the seat again. And now it's just a case of aligning this upholstery correctly, because obviously all the levers have to go through the correct slits in the material itself. You can see that where the seat originally sat, it is still rusty. I've cleaned this with degreaser and with soap and everything, and it just doesn't get it off. But luckily you don't actually see that rusty area, so it's not all bad. The rest of it has been cleaned as well, and it does look better. Although not perfect, it is still better. So that is all the levers going through the material. And that is it pretty much finished off. There are a few things which haven't been threaded through. For example, the draft control lever, which is actually brand new. I haven't put that through yet. So that needs to be done. And now the seat can go back in. The hard thing is bolting it in, because obviously we have to go through the material. With that all done, I can now install the brand new elastic suspension mounts. These are for the cab. The front of the cab basically mounts onto these. So I'm putting M10 bolts through, and also I'm using M10 nuts to fasten it all together. This job has to be repeated for the other side as well, and then these brackets can be bolted onto the tractor. But that is it for this episode. I know it was very short. I'm afraid that is about 20 days condensed into 8.5 minutes. So yes, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you for watching. You can see the cab mounts are now in place, the seat is in place, and we are almost ready for the cab lift. That is going to be all in the next episode, and also the next episode is going to be longer. But until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. And please remember to comment, rate and subscribe.